Have you ever been around a woman and thought, wait, does she actually like me? Or am I just imagining things? Here's the truth. When a woman has a crush, she usually won't come out and admit it. Instead, she hides it behind little behaviors, subtle tests, and mixed signals that most men completely miss. But once you know what to look for, her actions become crystal clear. And in today's video on Reading Her Mind, aka Dr. RHM, I'll break down the 7 hidden signs she secretly has a crush on you, so you never stay confused and never miss your chance again. So, how do you really know if she has a crush on you? Most guys miss the signs because women rarely make it obvious. Instead, they drop little hints, subtle behaviors that, if you pay attention, reveal exactly what's going on. That's why in this video, I'm breaking down the clearest signs she's secretly into you. Starting with the first and probably the most overlooked one. She finds reasons to be around you. Let me tell you about Johnny. Johnny had this coworker, Sophie. At first, he thought she was just being friendly, but then he noticed something strange. Every time he went for coffee, she just happened to be in the break room. When he stayed late at work, guess what? Sophie suddenly had extra work too. And when he mentioned he was heading to the gym, she casually said, "Oh wow, I've been thinking about joining too." Here's the thing. When a woman has a crush on you, she'll create excuses to be in your space. It won't always be obvious like asking you out directly. Instead, she'll position herself close to you, physically or socially, because proximity gives her comfort and the chance to connect without taking the first risk. Think about it. She lingers in conversations even when they could have ended. She shows up in places where she knows you'll be. She finds reasons to text or call you, small things she could have figured out on her own. These aren't accidents. They're signals. Women who secretly like you want opportunities to be noticed without looking too obvious. So next time you see her making these little coincidences, don't just brush it off. Recognize it for what it is, a silent invitation. She mirrors your actions. Another powerful sign that she's crushing on you is mirroring. And no, I'm not talking about her copying you in an obvious way like a twin. I mean the small, unconscious things she does that line up with your behavior. Think about it. You lean back in your chair. A few minutes later, she leans back too. You take a sip of your drink. Suddenly she reaches for hers. Even in conversation, if you speak with a certain rhythm, she naturally starts matching your tone and pace. Why does this happen? Simple. When someone is attracted to you, their subconscious tries to sync with your energy because they want to build connection and rapport. It's her way of saying, I'm on your wavelength, I like your vibe, and I want to feel close to you. Here's a quick test. Next time you're around her, change up your posture or your gestures slightly. If she mirrors you within a short time, even without realizing it, that's a green flag that her interest goes way beyond casual friendship. Pay attention to the little things. Because the truth is, women rarely announce their crushes with words. Their body language does it for them. She finds excuses to be around you. Here's the thing. When a woman has a crush on you, she won't always say it outright, but she'll make sure she's present. She'll find reasons, sometimes the flimsiest excuses, just to be in your space. Maybe she suddenly needs your help with something she could easily do herself. Or she just happens to show up where you usually hang out. Even better, she might stretch out conversations that don't really need to be long, just so she can keep your attention a little longer. I'll give you a quick example. A friend of mine, Matt, noticed a coworker was always swinging by his desk under the pretense of needing a pen, a charger, or asking random questions about work he didn't even handle. At first, he thought it was coincidence. But after the 5th forgot my pen moment, it clicked. She wasn't coming for the pen. She was coming for him. The truth is, attraction makes people seek proximity. When she has a crush, she'll engineer opportunities to cross paths, even if it looks casual on the surface. So here's your signal. If she keeps showing up in your orbit, especially when she doesn't really have to, it's not by chance. It's her way of saying, I like being near you, and I'm hoping you notice. She remembers the small details. Here's a golden sign most men overlook. When she has a crush on you, her memory becomes razor sharp, especially when it comes to you. If you casually mentioned your favorite food weeks ago, and suddenly she brings it up in conversation, or maybe you once said you had a tough exam, and out of nowhere she asks how it went. Trust me, that's not random. That's interest. Crushes make people pay attention. She's mentally bookmarking your likes, dislikes, struggles, and little quirks because deep down, she wants to feel closer to you. Let me give you an example. My guy Johnny told me about this girl he met at a networking event. He mentioned once, just once, that he loved old school R&B. Fast forward 2 weeks, she sends him a playlist with his favorite artists in it. Now think about it. She didn't do that for every random guy she met. She remembered because she liked him. So here's the bottom line. If she recalls things you barely even remember saying, that's attraction in disguise. Women don't invest mental energy into guys they're not drawn to. If she's storing your details like they're precious, it's because you are. She finds reasons to touch you. Here's a big one you cannot ignore. When a woman has a crush on you, she'll find little excuses to close the gap between you and her. Maybe she playfully taps your arm when you joke. Maybe she adjusts something on your shirt, brushes lint off your shoulder, or leans in a little too close when showing you something on her phone. These subtle touches aren't accidents, they're signals. You see, touch is one of the most powerful ways humans express attraction without saying a word. If she feels comfortable enough to break that physical barrier with you, it's because deep down she wants that closeness. Take my guy Matt, for example. He was out at a coffee shop with a female friend he'd been wondering about. Every time he cracked a joke, she'd reach over and tap his hand or brush against his arm. At first he thought, maybe she's just friendly. But when it kept happening, he realized she wasn't doing it with anyone else, only with him. So here's the rule. Pay attention to how often she accidentally finds her way into your personal space. If she's touching you more than she touches her other friends, that's her body language screaming what her mouth hasn't said yet. She likes you. So if she's remembering your favorite drink, following up on things you said weeks ago, or quoting back details you barely recall sharing, that's not by accident. That's intentional. It's her way of showing she's invested in you, even if she hasn't said the words out loud. Now here's the bigger picture. One of these signs on its own might just mean she's being nice. But when you start seeing 3, 4, or more of these behaviors lining up, that's not coincidence anymore. That's a crush in full motion. So the next time you're wondering whether that woman in your life is just being friendly, or if she's secretly into you, go back through these signs. The clues are always there. You just have to know how to read them. And if this video gave you clarity, do me a favor. Hit that like button so more men can find this message. Subscribe to Reading Her Mind for more straight-shooting dating advice, and drop a comment below. Which of these signs have you noticed before? I read every single one. Until next time, remember, awareness is power, and the right moves can change everything.